I've been using the iPhone 16 Pro for a week, and after using it for a week, these are just some quick thoughts, like a journal entry video of me just sharing, all right, what's the number one thing that stood out of using this phone? Where, especially if you're coming from a model iPhone that's 13 or lower, like like an iPhone 11 or a 10R or something like that. And I have friends that are still using those iPhones and they're surviving. They're doing just fine in life, all right? It's not like you need the latest and greatest all the time. I don't want to be that kind of person where I'm making it seem like if you don't have the latest and greatest, your life's not going to be good or something. But I'm just saying, especially if you're a content creator or you're somebody looking to get into content, an iPhone 16 Pro is all you need nowadays. And this is me. I mean, it sounds funny using a Canon R8 to record this video and the microphones from the 16 Pro to say that, but it's just the truth. You don't need a mirrorless camera. I mean, from here on forward, I'm going to be using my 16 Pro to record all of my content. And I really want to give it a test and sort of like a trial run on, okay, if I just had this iPhone, can I still build my YouTube channel? And I mean for everything. Photos for my thumbnails, the B-roll, obviously the A-roll content of recording myself. I wouldn't be able to use the microphones. I have a Rode microphone, a wireless one right here. So besides that, I mean, maybe, especially being in a quiet office with all the controls that you have within the native app of iPhone's camera, that you can edit all the audio to sound good. But the thing is, it sounds like AI is trying to process the audio too much. So yes, you're better off having a secondary source, a lab mic. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm doing with this phone. This phone is a secondary mic to my camera because my camera is just not going to sound as good as this. No matter what I do, I could try to AI it out and everything, and it's just going to be best to have a main source microphone. So for me, if I just show you photos before I ramble too much, if you look at these photos are all point and shoot, meaning that I took out my iPhone, shot a photo as quick as I can. I would just aim it at something and take a photo. And this is the results. So it doesn't matter if it's macro or if it's telephoto or the standard 24 millimeter. And most of these came from a farm where it was this past weekend, since I've only been using this phone for a week, that I took these photos with, I took them at the farm because I really wanted to see different colors. I wanted to really see what it was like using both lenses, of course, front facing and rear facing. And I wasn't disappointed with anything. I mean, not even the discoloration on my skin, which a lot of the older iPhones would give me a weird orange hue to my skin. And that's not even happening as much. It happens every now and then with the front facing camera. Or even worse, I'm not seeing the gray hairs get highlighted more like with other iPhones on my head. I don't have the most grays. The previous iPhones always made like the coloration of my hair or of my skin tone a little off. And so now I don't even have to worry about editing it or changing the tone or the color temperature or photographic styles or nothing. I was like, dang, this is just good with no editing. And none of those photos were raw max or anything. So one of the biggest things too with video quality, actually it's probably just best for me to show you an example. Now we're in cinematic mode. This is all just point and shoot. No adjustments on anything. Same lighting. To me, one of my favorite things about the iPhones this year is the photographic styles really nail a true to life color for the first time in a while, because usually like the coloration of the grays in my hair would be off and my skin tone would look more orange than it really is in real life. It didn't look that good bronze that my skin color is. It always looked orange. And I was like, why? And this is the first time my skin color doesn't look blown out on these cameras. Like the toning and everything looks so good. But let me know what you think in the comments below on the camera quality with just doing vlog style content like this. All right, I'm testing out the front facing camera of the iPhone 16 Pro. And to me, this looks as good as like a lot of rear facing cameras on smartphones. It's pretty crazy. Like to me, I'm like, whoa, that is really good quality for it being low light. I mean, the sun is going down, as you can see. Sun's going down, and the lighting adjustments and everything are so good. This is not cinematic. It's 1080p at 30 frames per second. And to me, I think it's a big difference. It's a big difference compared to a lot of front-facing cameras I've seen. I forgot what the megapixels are, but I'm impressed. I mean, this phone has just been so good with the cameras this year. Tobey Maguire got bit by a spider. Me? Must have been bit by the goat. I used to dream as a kid I would grow to be one and hope I inspire hope. So as you saw with the video quality, you can edit the audio and you can just not even have an external mic and it sounds just fine. If you're doing vlogging content, especially, I don't see why you need anything else, but literally this being your only device if you're starting out as a content creator. Now, what do I think about camera control though? Camera control, even though Apple won't say it's a button, is the only thing it's good for is this. I'll just show you right now. It's good for, especially if you're left-handed, or maybe if you're right-handed, depending on the size of your hands, just selfies. Just accessing it to upload the camera, and then boom, you just have one button you open the camera app with, and you take the selfie with. Where after you open, and so especially if you're doing a lot of things one-handed, that's where it's kind of cool. Like let's say I had a coffee drink or something, and I want to take a photo. I mean, depending, especially if you have one of the Pro Max models, I can see where this is really handy, no pun intended, but you have to open up the camera app and then you have to snap it by constantly putting your thumb down, which is weird in adjusting your grip. Whereas now you can just use camera control for that one main function. Now, a lot of people would say, well, what about the action button? Couldn't you do that too? Well, yes, but now at least you have one secondary option. I mean, even when I'm trying to use it horizontally like this, I don't take photos like that normally. Like all my photos, especially for Instagram, are not like this. So for me, I'm just wondering, I had to make sure the recording was going still, and it is, but I was just wondering, okay, why did Apple come out with this? Like, what's the main purpose of this button? And it's gotta be, there's something about horizontal video and horizontal photography Apple's obsessed with right now. And I'm just wondering why. Like, what are they prepping us for? So I would say that's the only flaw in what Apple came out with. And as far as hardware goes, because when it comes to software, I just don't understand the Apple Intelligence being late. You know, Steve Jobs would be furious if he were alive. He wouldn't have released the iPhone. He would have had it late, released in December until the software is ready. I mean, if you hear stories about Steve Jobs, he cared about software more than he did hardware. And so for me, I can't believe Apple released a phone that wasn't complete. You know, it's really weird. But the biggest thing for me with the software is it's still iOS. You know, for me with iOS, the apps don't crash. Everything's buttery smooth, especially with the ProMotion refresh rate. I mean, this phone moves fast. It's very zippy. Haven't had any issues with software as it is. Even with the 18.1 beta, it just feels incomplete because I can't give a review on Apple Intelligence. I'm not using any of the software features they promised. It's not out yet. So the other thing I would say is battery life is really incredible to be a truly all-day phone. Even if you look at my chart and my usage here, I never have to charge my phone throughout the day. It's truly only just charging it at night. That's it. The battery life is really that good, especially with using my camera all the time and testing out the video for all kinds of content creation ideas, or just being on the phone, period, listening to stuff. And that's the other thing, too. Besides the cameras and microphones being incredible and the battery life being great, is the speaker quality. Now, I can try to do a speaker test, but like it's just never going to sound the same through any microphone I use. But I will tell you this, it is probably about, it sounds like 30% louder than this phone, and it sounds crispier. I don't know how that's possible, but I'm like, dang, how is it that much louder than the iPhone 15? You know, I mean, it's not that much bigger of a phone, but I think what it really is that I'm picking up on is the sound quality is just richer. The speakers are just better now. I mean, the phone is slightly thicker, but that was mainly for the batteries. So I don't know. Take it for what it's worth. I think this phone is incredible, mainly if you want to be a content creator. If you're not even a content creator, then everything in life is just a bonus. If you're able to just casually upgrade to this phone because you just felt like it, which is going to be a lot of people. But that's what this video is for. If you are looking for any kind of smartphone or mirrorless camera and you're like, man, I don't know what to do, that's what I'm mainly trying to tell you is just if you upgrade to the 16 Pro, you're not going to need a content creation device for a very long time other than just using your phone.